So we're coming to the end of our series on the Holy Spirit, where James and Pete have led us not only through teaching, but also a real experience and encounter with the Holy Spirit. I'm always interested how people react when God chooses to do things that might seem a little unusual. I remember years ago when I was an elder in a previous church, there was a time that we referred to as the Toronto blessing. It was a time when God poured out his presence through encounters with the Holy Spirit. It was called the Toronto blessing because it originated in a church in Toronto, but it soon spread throughout the world. And people would go to this church to visit in Toronto, they would encounter God, and often it was like they brought something back with them to their own church. This happened in the church that I was an elder in. And there were many times, either at our church or various conferences that I attended, that some interesting things happened. For many, it was a time of great excitement. But it's true to say, for others, it was just a little uncomfortable. I remember at one such occasion talking to another church leader, and I commented to him about how do we know what's of God? There's all sorts of strange things happening. And what, if anything, should we be cautious about? I never forget what he said. He said to me, it's not what you see in front of you today that matters, but the effect it has on the individual after today. It's a very useful piece of advice. So I wonder, after these past few months, those of you that have enjoyed these encounters with God, what's changed? Perhaps for all of us as a church family, it would be helpful to hear some of those testimonies, to not only acknowledge what God has been doing, but also to help us in our understanding of the fruits of these encounters. So here's an invite. Tell us your stories. Let us know what has been happening when you've met with the Holy Spirit during these past few months. Because you see, I think by sharing these testimonies, we can more fully understand what God might be doing in some of these things that to some of us can feel a little uncomfortable or a little strange. So get in touch with me. Tell me your story. And there's lots of ways we can share these, which doesn't have to be through video, although I'd love to video you. Get in touch. We can chat about what's possible. I won't put any pressure on you. But maybe as you share how God has blessed you, this will help others in their understanding and become a blessing to them. So let's share those stories together so we can understand more about what God has been doing in this season through the work of the Holy Spirit. Thanks a lot.